Hello everyone. This is your third lecture based on your pharmaceutical chemistry 2 practicals. In earlier two lectures, we have came across the general introductory discussion or the general points about your syllabus or subject. We have covered what do you mean by pharmaceutical chemistry 2, then which type of practicals will be there, then what is the objective of this pharmaceutical chemistry 2, that means which new things you are going to learn, which new reactions you will perform, how to plan an experiment, how to execute an experiment, what are the different types of chemical reactions you have to perform, then what how to perform official identification test, then how to prepare a report, then how to synthesize a given compound, which are of industrial significance, and so on. So these general objectives of the subject we have gone through. Now the perspective of the subject is you have to learn basically some skills by performing these experiments. Say for example, in pharmaceutical chemistry, the objective or the perspective is you must develop intellectual and motor skills in you. In every experiment you will learn some skills. Some may be motor skills and some may be intellectual skills. Now the basic difference between these two types of skills is that whatever you do practically falls under your motor skills, and whatever you analyze, whatever you observe, whatever you understand, it will fall under your intellectual skills. Now say for example, to understand concept of any given experiment, that means why this experiment is kept in my syllabus, what is the main objective of keeping this particular experiment in the syllabus, so that thought process is a part of intellectual skill. Second intellectual skill you will develop is to understand test procedure. Suppose you have to prepare a sodium fusion extract in your systematic qualitative analysis. Now for preparing this sodium fusion extract, you must first understand how you will proceed, what you will do in first step, what you will do in second, what you will do third, what will be done in fourth, what will happen, what changes will happen by performing this, and what product I am expected to get at the end of this test. So to understand test procedure, see here you have not yet practically done the test, but you are just understanding, you are just reading it and trying to analyze what will happen, what I will get. So that is a part of intellectual skill. Then third examples of intellectual skill is to analyze and interpret the observation. Say at the end of any given reaction you will get a particular quality to understand and to interpret it, to conclude what will be the end of this reaction, what confirmation, what character I am going to finalize, fix, identify by performing this chemical test. Say for example, in first year during your radical practicals, identification of sodium, potassium, chloride or so on radicals. In chloride test, what you used to do is take a solution of substance to be analyzed, then add dilute nitric acid in that, and then add silver nitrate to it and shake it, and after some moments you will get a white precipitate. Now this white precipitate, what it indicates? It indicates the presence of halogens in that chemical compound. So what you are doing, you are analyzing and interpreting that it contains a halogen, whether it may be chloride, whether it may be bromide, and that depends which color you are getting, or further test you have to perform. Then say fourth intellectual skill is, when you perform any experiment in chemistry laboratory, precaution is one of the most important thing. So next intellectual skill is to understand the precautions. While performing a particular test, which precaution I must take? Suppose any hazardous compound you need to handle. So you must know it cannot be handled in open area. It has to be handled in fuming chamber because it is a hazardous one. So like that, to understand the precautions, safety measures you can say also. Then next intellectual skill which you will learn is to plan the experiment. How I am going to perform the experiments. An idea in your mind should come, and accordingly you will execute. That will be your motor skill when you will execute it. Then the last, say for example, intellectual skill is to perform calculations. See, a proper calculation will give a correct result, and for proper calculation you must know which formula I have to use, which value I have to put where, whether multiplication has to be done, whether division has to be done. It has to be done in proper manner. Whenever you will actually do, it will be part of your motor skill. But whenever you just what you can say, when you just get it done in your mind, that will be the part of your intellectual skill to perform calculations, formula, etc., and so on. Now some examples of motor skills are ability to write systemic report. Now though your manuals are printed one, so very less work you have to do. You have to just put an observation. But whenever they were written manually, whenever everything is written in your manual by the students, that time you have to write it in a systematic manner like that which is printed there. So you can't write a result on the first on the first and the aim at the last. You have to go in systemic way. You have to first write a experiment number, on which date you are performing, what is the aim of your experiment, why you are performing, or which type of experiments you are, what is your ultimate aim, what you want to find out, then which reference you have taken, from where you have taken that experiment, then which chemicals you will be requiring, which glasswares you will be requiring, what will be the principle of what happens during your experiment, which chemical reaction is taking place, or what is happening, that is principle, or on which principle the experiment has been designed. Then procedure, how to perform that experiment, stepwise it is written. At the first what you have to do, in second what you have to, next what you have to do, next what you have to do, and then observation part, calculation part, then result. So it has to be written in a systematic manner. So whenever you will do that, it will be motor skill. The next motor skill is ability to handle equipments, take and record observations. So you will sometimes you will be asked to find out the pH of a solution. So you must know pH meter, how to start it, how to use it, how to record the observation, etc. That will be your motor skill. Third motor skill example is ability to refer standard literature or Indian pharmacopoeia. You must be in a position to, you must be knowing the procedure, how to observe, or what is given where in any official book. Say for example, I say you the just cross check this reaction of paracetamol in the literature or in the official book IP. So you will take that IP. You must know that whenever sir has told that you have to observe it in Indian pharmacopoeia, you must bring Indian pharmacopoeia. You must open the monograph of that particular substance only, and you must know from where it is given. So you must know what are the standard literatures available, at least their names, where my particular thing is in that official book, how I must go in shortest possible time to that thing, and read it and just analyze it and correlate with your compounds and so on, depending on the type of thing asked to you. Then fourth motor skill is ability to work according to the plan of the experiment. Now in your intellectual skill you plan a particular experiment, and then you have to work, or you have to stick to your planning and execute it in a proper way, is your motor skill. So ability to work according to the plan of the experiment. Then ability of group working. See, certain experiments like synthesis, sometimes we perform in group. So it is a sort of teamwork. One can be your team leader from your group. Oh, someone takes lead. It is called as a team leader, or he or she will be called as team leader. Then it is his skill that he can take help from you politely. He can handle everyone, he can assign work to everyone, and collectively you will perform the experiment successfully. If anyone is negligent, or if anyone is not that sincere about that experiment, it will have a impact on your overall result, and whole team will get, efforts of whole team will get affected. So proper teamwork or team spirit you will develop in this motor skill. So after that, in the next we lecture, we will be discussing some basic requirements of your practicals, and then we will switching discussion to one by one the experiments.